What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their official debut on the channel tonight, we have Van Halen. Yes, indeed. How about that? Van Halen making their debut on the channel. Okay, this comes as a request from Jason Cart, and this is actually one of Jason Cart's 3 prioritized requests for the month of November for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Jason. Hope you enjoyed the show, man. Jason wanted to see me react to this. It is Van Halen, but it isn't Van Halen. You'll see what I mean. It's Eddie Van Halen doing his solo, his guitar solo from the concert video Live Without a Net. Okay, now, have I seen this before? Yes and no. This is going to require some explanation. Get comfortable. It's time for a history lesson with DH. Okay, so I even have props here. I just happen to have a prop here anyway. I get to use my grandpa voice for this. Back in the day, back in the early 80s, we had this contraption. It was called a VCR.
That's true.
What you did was you put these things into the VCR. These were called VHS cassette tapes. Oh, Nelly. And you would put them in there and you would play what was on the tape. Kind of like an 8-track or a cassette tape. And if you don't know what those are, then you're on the wrong channel. Anyway, you could also record with these. You would put them into the VCR and it would make a clickety-clack sound. And you would try to set the timer, and setting the timer you needed an instruction manual for. It was complicated. And once you figured that out, you would be able to record television shows. This blew my goddamn mind. So basically what I'm trying to say is, I actually had this concert video on one of these. I actually bought it. I think I bought it at Warehouse Music, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but I used to have this on tape. And I would watch the entire concert. I must have seen this concert easily 50 times, if not more. So, how am I able to do a reaction to this? I've already seen the concert video, right? I saw 90% of it. I'm a bass player. I'm going to be honest with you. If it's a song, I'll enjoy it. I'll listen to it. I'll watch it. If it's a bass solo, like there was on this, I'm definitely going to watch that. If it is a drum solo or a guitar solo, I'm not going to be interested. And you know what you could do on... Hold on, let me get my grandpa voice out again. You know what you could do with those VCR, those fandangled VCR machines? You could actually fast forward through the commercials or any other part of the video that you didn't want to see. So that's what I did. I would fast forward through the drum solo, and I would fast forward to the guitar solo. Now, there were a couple of times that I did watch the drum solo. Alex Van Halen's drum solo was pretty cool. But I made it a point to always skip over this guitar solo. Why? Because I had no interest in watching a 15-minute guitar solo. I wanted to get to the next song, which in this case, off this video, was I Can't Drive 55, because I knew that song and I wanted to hear it. So, I would always, and I mean always, fast forward through it. I had no interest in watching it at all or listening to it. So that is how, and that is the explanation as to why I can actually do a legitimate, honest reaction to this. because I've never actually sat and listened and watched. There you go. So, like I said, it's complicated, but I can assure you, I promise you, I've never actually sat and listened to this or watched it, despite the fact that I've watched the rest of the concert video at least 50 times. Michael Anthony's bass solo in this is so much fun to watch. It is so much fun to watch. Anyway, so, have I heard it? No. Long story short. And I can guarantee you I've never heard it before because, like I said, I made it a point to always fast forward. This was posted by Bruce Wayne.
What are you? I'm Batman.
And the video has 2.4 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Eddie Van Halen, solo Eruption, live without a net. Yeah, it's the concert video I'm thinking of. I think this is, they just ended Love Comes Walking In, I think is what they just finished up here, if I'm not mistaken. My memory serves. It's been a while since I've seen the video. But, all right, I'm actually going to sit through this guitar solo. Cool. I'm sorry, I had no interest in seeing it. I've heard stories about what Eddie Van Halen could do. I actually did get a chance to see them play live once, but Eddie wasn't in the best of conditions at the time. He was a little inebriated at the show. He wasn't exactly playing in his best form. So, we'll see how this one goes. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
All right, so now comes my favorite part of the show. It's my favorite part.
Right about here is where I would hit the fast forward button and be like, I don't care. Bam, fast forward. And now here I am, you know, some 25, 30 years later. Go figure.
All right, so now comes my favorite part of the show. It's my favorite part of the whole evening. We've been on tour since March, and I have no better time anytime than right now, because I get to go sit down, have myself a nice cold one, and listen to the greatest rock and roll guitar player in the world, Mr. Eddie Van Halen.
What's he doing? Picking them up? Jeez. Something so simple what he's playing is not difficult at all. It's not the tapping, typical Eddie Van Halen, solos that we hear and have seen in the past. It's pretty simple, but you always hear people talking about, guitar players making their guitar sing. That's a good example of it right there. The use of dynamics, the swells, the sudden drop in volume, coming up, building up, accent, drop back down again. It's so good. It's so good. I laugh at the cigarette, and it blowing the smoke rings, comical, but you look back now, I really wish he hadn't done it. I really wish he'd never used those things. I wish those things don't. I really wish more than anything that those stupid things just didn't exist. I call them lung darts. I wish those lung darts didn't exist, man. And I know Big Tobacco's going, yeah, well, we don't care what you think. Yeah, well, it's obvious. It's obvious you don't care, Big Tobacco. Anyway, let's keep going here. Let's get back into this. Here we go. Stop. I gotta see that again. The way he starts out, he's shredding, holds the note, vibrato, takes his pick, and just chucks it like a frisbee into the crowd without missing a step with that vibrato going right into the next thing. It looks like he's tapping here. That's great. That's showmanship. That's absolute showmanship because he did it with a smile on his face. Watch it again. There we go. Picks up the pick of his guitar. Boom! Oh, these pull-offs. Here we go, the feathering. choices I need to pause. Okay. Wow. There is not a single guitar player I can think of that has not in some way been influenced by Eddie Van Halen's techniques. So, I know guitar players who have tried and tried and tried their hardest to sound just like Eddie Van Halen. Here's the thing. You can learn all the technique you want. You can learn all the techniques. You can play the techniques exactly the way that he does. The thing is, you're never going to sound exactly like him because he has all these little nuances. For example, when he's tapping with a two-hand tapping and he's going to go up, he has a tendency to leave his finger on his right hand. He'll be tapping, 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 and the right index finger or the middle finger, depending on which one just hit the last note, will hold, stay pressed, and slide up as he then releases to move on to the next. You'll hear those little slides, and again, you could copy it, you could try your best to copy it, and you might get it, but it won't sound as fluid and as relaxed and as natural as Eddie Van Halen did. Why? Because that's how he learned to play guitar. He never had any formal instruction. None on how to play the guitar. He figured it out himself. He figured out a style of playing guitar that fits him. As a result, he's very comfortable with it. And this is the result. Go figure. But it's just like that. I mean, like I said, you can copy the techniques. You can learn the techniques. You can learn how to hammer on and tap and pull off and hammer on and, pick slide with tapping. And you can learn all of that. And that's great. That's wonderful. You learned it. But I guarantee you, you'll never sound exactly like him. It's just impossible. He did it again! Look at this. Look at this guy. He just zings another pick into the crowd. I mean, look. You got an endorsement deal with a pick company. You're literally getting shipped hundreds of picks every week from... I can't tell if those are Ernie Ball picks or if those are Dunlop picks. Or I can't tell, but... I mean, whatever company's got the endorsement deal with, they're literally sending him thousands of picks like every month. His own design and everything, so it's not like he's ever going to run out. So yeah, you don't need it. Rather than trying to save it like us starving musicians do, zing it into the crowd, do what you got to do because you've always got more. Look, he's got let me see. How many picks do you have on that thing right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15. And he's got more down here, I know. He's got at least 20 more picks on that thing. Probably more. He's not going to run out. Never. So he's playing. He knows he's going to come. It looks like he went to tapping. He's not going to need that pick. Throw him to the crowd. Give the crowd a souvenir. Why not? And again, with a smile on his face. Faster. Ooh. So now his effect changed. He's added a little bit of a delay, a little bit of a chorus, and the lighting changed to coincide with the tonal change. Seriously, look, the lighting changed. Take a look. See? Mostly white, a little bit of a blue hue. Now it's a purple and violet hue. Oh! I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that before. That was cool. Okay, so let me show you what I'm really impressed with. Okay, I think it's right here, I think. Yeah. He's reaching around the back of his guitar. Now, for those of you that own electric guitars, and they have a tremolo system on it, not like a Gibson that has just, you know, the standard bridge. I'm talking about a guitar that has a tremolo system of some kind on it. If you flip your guitar and look at the back, there's usually a panel. You take off that panel, and you're looking at anywhere from 2 to 4 springs, usually 3, sometimes 4, depending on the type of tremolo system you have. What he did right there is he reached behind him. He obviously has the panel removed. He grabbed those strings that are the mechanism for the tremolo system, and he pulled on the springs. And that caused a reverberation to go through the bridge and through the strings. That is pretty cool. And what made it really sound awesome, and again, forward thinking, he has that delay with the chorus and the distortion on there, so it echoes. Boom, 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 like that. Oh, that's awesome. I don't think I've ever heard anybody do that before. Okay. I've heard that before. Ah, playing with the neck. Using his fingertips to tap the back of the neck. Obviously, it's a bass that's a little bigger, but tapping the neck like that makes the strings reverberate and keep the sustain going on what's happening with the note that he previously played. It just helps it sustain a little bit more, and actually does the exact opposite of what the string decay would do. When you let a string resonate, it slowly decrescendos, right? By doing it that way, if he does it right, he can actually get to crescendo back up again. Very cool. Very cool. So that's 2 techniques now that I've seen him do that I've never seen anybody do. The picking the strings up at the headstock, that's nothing new. I've seen the guitar players do that. Still sounds really cool with the added effects of the delay and the chorus, along with the distortion, but yeah, that's old hat. I've seen many guitar players do that. But plucking the springs on the back of the guitar for the tremolo, and then using the fingertips on the neck to keep it not just resonating and not just keep the sustain going, but to turn it around from a decrescendo to a crescendo. That was really cool. Really cool. So right there, in a period of like 10 seconds, I just saw 2 things being done by this guy that I've never seen anybody else do. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Lighting switch again. all volume. Okay. This might be the most impressive part of the solo for me right now. This requires exact, precise timing. What he's doing is he's hitting the note with his left hand. He's tapping, right? As it hits and it starts to resonate through, he takes his volume knob, shifts it all the way down, and brings it up ever so slightly as a crescendo. Working in tandem, and this is where it gets tricky, in tandem with the pulse of the delay, so that it comes back in as the delay hits its first repeat. If he's off even not even a tenth, if he's off even 100th of a second, it's going to be noticeable. And it's going to sound like it's going to, not at first, but it's going to snowball into a train wreck because of that delay. His timing has got to be spot on in this part, and it is. That's frightening. I've heard recordings of this section. I know I've heard the original, I think I've heard a recording of this, but I've never seen him actually do it. And I was always wondering, do you use a volume pedal? How do you do it? No, he's using his right hand on the volume knob. Dear Lord. Hard to believe it's hard to believe that all the notes are being played with one hand, the left hand. All the right hand's doing is playing with the volume knob. That's it. That's all it can do. Because like I said, it has to be spot on. So, yeah, the right hand cannot help. It's all left hand. That's impressive. Great dynamic control again. Now it's going to this side, and the crowd stands up. Nice. So he's covered stage left, center stage, and now he's gone over to stage right. So he's playing to the crowd. He is. He's interacting with the crowd. He's not just standing at the center of the stage and saying, look at me and worship me and bow down to me. No, he's moving to all the different parts of the stage to engage the crowd. Very smart. Very smart. The intro to Mean Streets, okay. Slides again. sloppy there. Lighting change again. Whoever's drawing the lights really knows this solo inside and out, because every time he changes up his solo, the color changes with it. I think it's changing. I don't know. Maybe not. Hold on. I mean, he stopped. He stopped right there, so I thought maybe that part of the solo was over. Maybe not. Maybe there's a continuation. I love those opposing slides. Left hand sliding down the neck while the right hand slides up on the neck. I've always dug that. And man, he's so good at it. He's so good at pulling it off and making it sound just, again, so natural. It's amazing. Tapping with resonating harmonics. Okay. Really pretty. Really pretty part. Back to where he started. No, wait. He's not where he started. I thought he went back to stage left where he started. No, he's sitting right in front of the drums now. Never mind. Accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. Ah! What a great ending. What a great ending, that decelerate, decelerate, accelerate, 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 and then you do crescendos, quickly decelerate, and then fade out, and fade slowly back in, ever so slightly with some nice harmonics in the end. Great ending. Fantastic ending. Wait a minute. Maybe not. We have another minute and a half. Well, it could just be crowd cheering. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, never mind. They're feathering. They're feather picking. Oh, those overtones! Woo! Woo! Nasty. And then this is where they would go into I Can't Drive 55. Because you didn't see Sammy Hagar on the stage. He's actually up in the rafters right now, where he has a microphone set up so he could sing the song up there. The 80s were a glorious time. Wow. I got a lot to say. I got a lot to think about. Let me collect my thoughts. This is going to take a while. Get comfy. There's a lot to say. I will see you in the review. Well, there you go, folks. That was Eddie Van Halen with his Eruption solo from the concert video Live Without a Net. This was a request from Jason Cart, and this was one of Jason Cart's 3 prioritized requests for the month of November for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Jason. I hope you enjoyed the show. Okay, I thought about it, and I thought hard. Coming up with the score was actually pretty easy. Coming up with what to say about my reasonings why, that was the hard part. Because there was a lot I thought I had to say, but really, there really isn't actually a whole lot to say. Not when I was able to simmer it down to its bare bones, there really is not a whole lot to say. There's a couple things, but not as much. Only like maybe a tenth of what I originally was going to say. So I should be able to do this in 5 minutes or less, no problem. We should be able to. So let's see. All right, starting off with the score. On a scale of 1 to 10. See, now I'm having second thoughts. No, I'm not going to have second thoughts. I'm going to stick with my original score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 9.4. Yep, 9.4. I feel great about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. I know the question everybody's going to ask me, so I'm just going to answer it right now. Do I have any regrets going back into my childhood, fast forwarding through that video? No, I have no regrets. I'm kind of glad I did, because it brought me to this point here where I'm more mature, I can appreciate a good guitar solo, and I'm able to see it from a more experienced and more seasoned veteran of the music industry. As someone who has played with some amazing guitar players, a lot of them who have tried to emulate Eddie Van Halen as best they could, and they never will, because there will only be ever one Eddie Van Halen, period. In my youth, I was probably too naive, too immature, too arrogant to some extent to appreciate it. So to answer your question, do I regret it? No, I'm glad I didn't watch it back then, because it would have ruined this to where I am now, where I can truly appreciate it. There were some really cool things happening in that solo, man. Some really cool things. Now, I will say 90% of the solo I've heard in bits and pieces, like the opening intro for Mean Streets and Eruption and Cathedral. I've heard all these things individually in studio. I've never heard them all put together, okay, in a live setting. So that was cool, and it was really cool to see how he did it in a live setting. I'll use that one part. The lights go down in the blue. I believe that's Cathedral, where he's using the volume knob in perfect cohesion with his left hand, timing it absolutely perfectly to match up with the delay re-entry flawlessly. I mean, good Lord. I mean, seriously, if you're... I don't even think a tenth would be enough to describe it. If you're like 100th of a second off in any way, shape, or form, it might not be noticeable at first, but after about 10 seconds of being consistently 100th of a second off, it's going to become noticeable because of that delay pedal. Not delay, the delay effect. In conjunction with utilizing the volume knob to do all the volume control. I swear I thought it was a volume pedal he was doing that with. No, it's a volume knob. His right hand controlling it, which left all the actual note playing up to his left hand. Dear Lord, that alone was mind-blowing. That alone was like, okay, this is amazing. The timing is spot on. He had that part where he brought the guitar up and he used his fingers to pluck the springs, not the strings, the springs, the tension springs that add the tension for the tremolo system on his guitar, his whammy bar, resonating through the bridge, through the strings to give it that sound. Plus, with the impact of the springs snapping back and hitting the back of the guitar where the pickups are to create that impact sound. That was cool. I had never seen anybody do that before. As far as I know, I've never seen anyone do it before. Utilizing his fingers on his left hand to, tap on the neck to not just sustain or cause the sustain and the resonation to go longer, but to actually turn it around from a decrescendo, resonate to a crescendo back up again. That was cool. I've never seen anybody do that before either. Everything else I've seen other guitar players do, but not like him. Like I said, with the tapping, I can't tell you how many guitar players I've seen tapping. I've seen it done, I don't know about thousands, but hundreds of times I've seen it done firsthand. But not the way that Eddie Van Halen does it, with the sliding up. And I love that. I loved that part where he went against, sliding down with the left, tapping and sliding with the left while he tapped and slide with the right. And it's cool, man. It had a great sound, a great pitch differential, with those glissandos. Really nice. Overall, I just got told my 5 minutes are up. Overall, it was an extremely fun time to watch. And like I said, if I had watched this in my youth, I would not have been able to appreciate it even a tenth of how much I appreciate it now. I was just in a hurry to get to I Can't Drive 55 when I was in my youth. Now, seeing that, hearing it, experiencing it, I'm glad I did it now rather than when I wasn't able to do it in my youth. So, time to bust out the old VHS. So, actually, I might actually have it. I might actually have it around here somewhere on VHS. I have to find a VCR now. I'm sure I can find a VCR on eBay or something like that. Somebody's probably looking to get rid of one. I'm sure I can find one. Or maybe I'll just see if I can buy it on DVD or something like that. Blu-ray. Or digital download. Yeah, how far have we come as a society? The only thing that kind of brought me down, two things. One, if I'm being honest here, the solo did go a little long. It's a long solo, okay? Do I regret it being that long? No. Would it have been more effective if it had been a little shorter? Possibly. There's a saying in show business, always leave them wanting more. Now, I can say, in all honesty, that did leave me wanting more. I wish I could see more. Which brings me to my final point. Unfortunately, we will never see more because he was taken far too early in life due to those stupid lung darts, which gave him the big C. And I know Big Tobacco's sitting there going, well, there's no actual evidence, there's no actual proof. Wrong. BS, there is. It's been documented many times over that cigarette smoking does lead to cancer. All kinds of cancer. Lung cancer, mouth cancer, throat cancer, all kinds of cancer. So, do yourself a favor, folks. And I'm speaking to you as a fellow human being. Please do yourself a favor. And not for you, for your friends and family. Okay? Speaking as someone who is still dealing with a family member dealing with cancer. Still fighting it. Do if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your friends and family, and kick the sticks. Seriously, kick those cancer sticks out of your mouth. Stop using them, please. Do yourself a favor. And like I said, if not for you, then do it for your friends and family, because I promise you, there is nothing worse in this life or in this world than watching a loved one, someone that you care about, someone that you respect deeply, suffering and having to deal with chemotherapy and radiation. And in this case, surgery, to have half of his jaw removed. It's not cool, man. It's not cool. It's not fun. So, like I said, if not for you, do it for your people that you love, okay? Because I promise you, when they're sitting there watching you suffer, it's not a good time for them. It really isn't. So, please kick those cancer sticks out of your mouth. Take those lung darts, throw them in the trash, and never use them again. Do whatever you gotta do. Use the patch, use the gum. Go strong will, cold turkey. I don't care how you do it. Just do it, please. Do it for the right people. Do it for the ones you love, all right? Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. Anyway, we're going to stick with the 9.4. It blew my mind, absolutely. And I did thoroughly enjoy it. I am going to watch this again. I am. That was a very impressive guitar solo. Done only as Eddie Van Halen can do, or could do. So, 9.4, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully, I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you did enjoy the show and you'd like to see more content like this, feel free to join the fan base by clicking on that button down there. Yeah, you know the button I'm talking about. Click on that button, join the fan base, and become one of us. Now, for whatever reason, if you don't feel like clicking on that button, that's okay. I still respect you. Also, if you did enjoy the video, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up. It'll do me a world of good, and it will do you absolutely no harm whatsoever. Finally, if you guys do join the fan base, you will find a bell down there that you can click on. By clicking on that bell, it'll keep you up to date on everything happening with this channel, including when new content gets dropped. So, if you want to stay in the know, click on the bell and you'll stay in the know. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Until next time, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.